Okay, so we had a side discussion about eating almonds, but not before Yom Kippur.
With apologies.
Asher bo, that in it. So we're saying that l'shachet kol basar is every flesh, everything that had life about it and had a previous destiny. Its destiny is now going to be connected with this destruction. That's going to become the new norm. And the new norm, asher bo, that it's in, that in it, whereas before it had the ability to prosper and to have things come out of it, now this new reality, it's going to have no permanence. All of these things that were there before, they're going to be connected to this l'shachet, ruach, a breath.
So just before we leave that,
Mm-hmm.
So how do we see that from the reading mark, the shape of the
Sure.
reading mark?
So whenever we've got a pashta, we're sort of saying this is the concept. This is the thing that we're talking about. So that in it, the reality that they're going to be living in, is going to be this new reality that's connected to l'shachet kol basar. That the destruction is going to come to the aspirations and the hopes and the destiny of kol basar that they had before. So l'shachet kol basar, this reality, asher bo, ruach, a breath, number 10, with a zakef, or a munach. While relying on respiration to support life, a breath of air will be obstructed, and this will bring on a lethal end, as illustrated by the shape of the reading mark. So he's saying that everyone is going to take literally their last breath. They're going to have breathed before, and they're not going to be breathing anymore. So Ruach is going to say, well, are they all going to die of heart attacks? Are they all going to die of being, hit by things in the flood? No, they're going to take one last breath. And whether that involves water or not, we'll see at the end of the sentence. But it's going to be that last breath that they're going to take. Ruach Chayim, Zakef Katon. So the ruach, the breath, is going to lead into Chayim, which has the Katon, has the two dots, the bipartite mark on top of it, of life, number 11. Since breathing was established as a supportive function of life, the cessation of that one will abolish all others, as conveyed by the bipartite reading shape of the reading mark. So you have two choices. You can either be breathing and alive, or you can be not breathing and dead. You have the two dots. You have your life being dependent on ruach. Mitachat tipcha. So this tipcha, again, something that draws back from something that has come before it. From under, number 12. Like air to breathe, so will other necessities of life from beneath in the catastrophe, because there will be no need for them, as referred backwards by the directional shape of the reading mark. So all of the things that you would have previously derived from the earth and from your dwelling and from all the things that were below you are now no longer going to be needed because you don't have your breath.
You're dead anyway. Anything.
You can't take it with you. Mitachat tipcha, hashamayim. So we have this stabilizing element, again focusing possibly upwards with an etnachta, the end of the first half of the sentence. Number 13, the heavens. The heavens only will remain unchanged because they were free of man, as demonstrated by the stabilizing shape of the reading mark. So the heavens, hashamayim, is the part that's going to remain stable, and possibly with a little bit of a focus upwards, whereas everything that was underneath is going to be gone. Kol, 14, most. Very interesting. We take the word kol, which is sort of uniformly translated as all, and here we have the translation most. Number 14. Most of the species that had some connection with the calamities will disappear without a trace, as depicted by the directional shape of the reading mark. This is a mercha, so this is something that's going to lead gently into what comes after it. So this gentle leading is going to perhaps be how the word kol gets the word most. Don't forget that we've got survivors on the teva, and we have fish that are going to survive. But again, very interesting how the word kol turns into most, not all.
Unless he is, again, using, sorry, what is the mark under Asher Ba'aretz?
Tipcha.
Tipcha. So if Mercha Tipcha are sort of brackets or a concept,
yes.
so Kol Asher Ba'aretz means all that is in the land, but not all species of the earth. So it might be, I'm wondering if the most depends on the grouping of the Mercha Tipcha.
Don't think so. I think he's specifically relating it to just to the mercha itself. Because it's a mercha, not a mapach. It's not looking backwards. It's not a tavir. It's not separated out or stabilized. So again, the concept is that it's gently something that's going to flow forward, and don't have a clear reason why he's translated it as most. Asher Ba'aretz, number 15. Those that on the land with the tipcha, that on the land have found suitable conditions to live and work, will pay their final penalty, as signified by the closing shape of the directional reading mark. So this is the tipcha. It's going to fold in the concept of kol. So he's saying that Asher Ba'aretz, that on the land is what gave them the ability to have a future, have something that where they could do what they were born to do. So that's why specifically that they were on the land, and now the land is going to be removed from them in a functional sense as well. So that's going to be going to complete their ending. Yigva will vanish, and again, an interesting interpretation of the word yigva. Usually it's translated as will drown. Thus, all living on the surface of the ground will vanish because of the destruction of all original rules. This is Sof Pasuk. This is the way that the condition is going to stabilize. It's going to stabilize with the destruction that the flood has created, and he's saying that the destruction is not just an ending of the physical structures that were there and the people that were there. He's going to say that the reality and the rules are going to change as well, from what we saw of the idea of Lishachet Kol Basar and Asher Bo. We've got this new concept that's going to be created. Could you pause tape for a second?